Hey you guys, this is Candace from Lion's Hook Crochet. This video is going to be what tools you need to start your crochet journey, along with how to read a yarn label. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. So obviously you can't do anything without a crochet hook. This one is a Clover Amour size 6. This is my preferred brand, in case you can't tell. A common one that a lot of people use is Susan Bates. These are just some basic scissors. These are Fiskars scissors, and they have the protective cover. I use these are my personal favorite brand. But any scissors will do. These are a bunch of needles for sewing, and you just use these every now and then if you're wanting to sew pieces together. There is also an angled needle. I use this very often with my amigurumi. This is just a typical tape measure, centimeters, inches. Any tape measure will do, but this is a typical sewing tape measure. You may want, not every pattern requires them and not everybody uses them, but these are stitch markers. Both of these styles will do for crochet. You want to be able to open them and be able to close them. Typically with crochet, you're going to be putting it through an actual stitch, whereas this is a knitting stitch marker. This would typically, pretend this is a knitting needle, it would go on the actual needle itself and move along the project if you're working in the round or on the needle. So make sure that you buy some that have a clasp if you're going to be doing crochet, and then these are for knitting only. So that's the only reason I had that out. Just to go over very quickly, crochet hook. The size will go over how to navigate that. Scissors, needles, measuring tape, and stitch markers if you would like. So just to start, first go over how to read a yarn label. This is Loops and Threads. This is a Michaels brand. Acrylic just means that it is plastic. This one has 163 yards and it's 6 ounces. When you're looking at a pattern, it will typically tell you how many ounces or yards you need of a specific yarn. So this is actually 96% acrylic and 4% polyester, and I see that number right here. This is typically the format you're gonna see it in. This right here, so it's a size 6 super bulky, which means that it's probably gonna be pretty thick, pretty fluffy, and you're gonna need a bigger crochet hook. Good news is, it says right here what size hook is recommended. This is knitting gauge. So if it's like this and it has needles, it's knitting. If it has a hook, it's the crochet. What's recommended is a size 8mm US size L. When I typically test is if it's going over the hook, it's definitely way too small of a hook and you need to up your size. But it fits in nicely right there. I had another yarn label. This one is old, so you'll have to excuse it. This is Lion brand Heartland. So it is 5 ounces and it's 251 yards, and they have that right here. And then right under that, you can see right here it has 2 knitting needles, so there's a needle on the bottom of the needle, and then there's a crochet hook. So the recommended for this one is a J10, which is a 6mm right there. And this one is interesting. It does have the crochet gauge, which you don't see very often. And this is a size 4 medium weight yarn. This is the color name. And then this right here is the lot number. The lot number is important for when you're making a really big garment where you want multiple of these. If you check that lot number, it means they were dyed in the same batch. Because sometimes, while this one is super cyan and blue and rich, the other one might be much lighter or much darker. And it is because it could be a different lot. So try to pay attention to that if that's something you care about whenever you're picking out your yarns. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!